once again, we have come to a rather turning point, a decisive point whether the palm oil replantation will be allowed. So how will this impact the overall plantation sector, especially the companies that are already into palm oil and companies that may venture into it in the future? So uh, the palm oil policy appears close to be shifted, but the final cabinet approval has not been granted. But there has been some positive news seen recently. So in anticipation of this shift, plantation industry, this is comprising 11 regional plantation companies that has been the news. They have proposed an expansion of cultivation by approximately 10,400 to 10,600 hectares. That is in addition to the existing 10,800 hectares of palm oil cultivation. But this expansion is expected to follow some strict guidelines. So some of it regarding the land suitability criteria. So this will mainly focus on the low country regions and will avoid environmentally sensitive areas, mountain areas, and close to water sources and so on. So the complete set of guidelines is not available publicly, but most likely this will focus on the low country regions. Anyway, the palm oil cultivation was mainly concentrated in the Gaul, Kalutara and Gaul, Kalutara and Ratnapura districts. So it will be mostly concentrated in those areas. And authority is also conducting awareness initiatives in these key districts, especially Kalutara, Gaul, Mathura, and Kegaul, to maintain a potential resistance coming from the public. So on the commercial standpoint, this appears very positive news because oil palm offers higher returns, the highest returns among the other plantation crops, and there is a fast maturation period and better yields, and of course, because in the economic aspect, it's much better than the other plantation crops. But so in the event the policy is amended now, so how long will that take in order to have some meaningful impact? So this is definitely a multi-year investment, although it could be relatively faster compared to the other plantation crops. But we cannot expect a near-term earnings impact coming in. It would be limited. But of course, those companies that are already generating better yields, those who have the mature estates, will have some upper hand, and also the palm oil processing capability. So as of now, if we look at the crop exposure that the listed companies have into palm oil, so the major players would be Vatavela, Namunukula plantations, Agalawatha plantations, and Alpitia plantations. So those have over 1,000 hectares. So those are the companies that have the processing capabilities as well. Vatavela has their own mill, as well as Agalawatha, Alpitia, and Namunukula have their joint venture. So those would be the first tier companies, I would say. And then also we have a few other companies who are into palm oil, but the extent is much less. HOPL about 250 hectares, Kotagala around 526. And of course, Bogavantala, BOPL, They do report the segment earnings of palm oil, but I could not find the exact extent. But given the earnings, I believe the extent is somewhat similar to that of Horana plantations or so on. So it's not as big as the larger companies, but they do have a bit of palm oil extent, BOPL. So, of course, these companies will also see some benefit now. To say Kotagala, this 526 is not mature extent. So we will see that in the coming years, these also would be maturing, and if they can expand on that, expand further on the palm oil extent, then that would also be a positive. But so these are only then if you take 1, 2, 3, around 7 listed companies, but we saw that 11 companies have given proposals, so the names were not revealed. So even other companies who maybe have access land, but not only access land, actually, even some of these unproductive rubber lands also could be converted into, we could expect that the companies will look at converting them into oil palm because they are a much more productive crop. Given that plantation happens now, generally it takes about 3 years for the tree to bear fruit. So it will start yielding, but that will not be a very productive stage. The prime age of the tree is from around 7 to 20 years. So the lifespan of the plant is, of course, after 25 years, it starts to deteriorate. Around maximum 20 to 25 years, there is a healthy economic lifespan of palm oil. So in the medium to long term, definitely this will be a value addition if the ban is lifted. And of course, the sector relative valuations, generally the companies that are into palm oil have traded at much higher multiples, you could say. Waterwala is close around 19.6 times as of the 4th of May prices. Then we have Namunukul at 9.8 times, HOPL at 11 times, Alpite at 8.4, BOPL 6.7, Galavat at 7.8 times. So those are in terms of the relative valuations. So of course, this I believe those companies that are mainly into these high grown tea extents, we can exclude, we can, given the elevation and all that, I don't think there'll be palm oil cultivations in those areas.